All right, want to do a video here on gold. Gold has been just all over the place over the past, I don't know, I'd say about 2 weeks or so. Currently looking here at the 1 year chart on the gold futures. This is going to be ticker symbol GC, and then later we'll move into ticker symbol GLD, as that's one that a lot of people trade. But gold really over the past year has been very strong. But you can see this last day of trading, we were down almost 3.5%. At one point, I think we were down over 4% here on gold, as well as GLD. But just wanted to give the broad picture to start, so we kind of have an idea of what gold has been doing, and we can use that to get an idea of where gold is going to move from here. So as I said, this last day for gold was really rough, and we saw this massive pull down. If this is going to slide over for me, maybe. All right, there we go. And it really came from this break of $1,600. When we look back here towards, when was this, early January, I believe, we had this run up to 1,600 after breaking this downward trend. Run to 1,600, we consolidated, we dipped back down, consolidated, ran for it again, and we were not able to break through it. Following that, we made a higher low, and then made another run, and this one had no problem whatsoever. Again, fueled by, I want to say that this was fueled more so by people wanting to move their money into a safe haven asset in gold, and that really just sparked it to have almost this $100 rally after a breakthrough of the $1,600 level, moving all the way up almost to hit $1,700. And from then, we have seen this vast pullback that I think can be a money-making opportunity, given that this chart does not break down further. So you can see here we have this upward trend based off of the higher low that was set back in early February, which sparked the platform for this thing to really run. And we've since retraced back down, and on Friday we tapped that level. If we move in a little bit closer, you can kind of see what I'm looking at. I don't know why the time in sales was still up. Okay, sorry about that. Nonetheless, so you can see that we have bounced off of that. It was down here around the 1570 mark, and we've kind of popped. I wouldn't be surprised if we kept, this kind of consolidated for a few more trading sessions, as I still think there's a ton of volatility in the market. Whether you like it or not, there's just a lot going on with the coronavirus and the economic impacts that it's having, and that's not just going to be affected in the global or the overall stock market, but that's falling into gold and precious metals as well. I wouldn't be too shocked if we were to dip down and maybe touch this line again, but I wouldn't want to see it break through that level. If it were to break through there, I'd really want to see it hold right in this 1560, as that was really kind of the bottom, the average bottom the last time. We sat a low, or we set a low, before moving and almost hitting that $1,700 price point. So that would just be my view on it. I would like to see it come back up and see what it does as it hits that $1,600 price point. And from there, if we do break through, I would honestly like to see us back up here around 1630, or the mid 1620s, is that's really where we kind of fell off the table. You can see we had the run, and we bounced a couple times before testing that level one more time and failing. So, from right in here, say the 1580 mark up here to 1630, you're looking at about a 3% gain. So to me, gold is looking like a good buy. I want to see what it does when we open up Sunday evening, what the overall market is doing, to quantify if that is going to be a good purchase. But again, on the downside, let's look to see if we hold this upper trend along with this 1560 mark. And then once we break through the 1560, at that point, I'm just kind of going to be waiting to see where and when we set in a bottom, because we might start to reverse back down at that point, and try out this 1540 mark. And then after that, there's kind of a little bit of space that we could be moving down, say, even to the 1500 or into the high 1400 levels. So let's go ahead and take it on over to GLD. Again, this is a gold-based ETF, so we'll go ahead and look at the yearly on here. It's going to look similar to the gold futures. So again, downward trend, broke through. Here's our new consolidation pattern, if you'd like, as we were trying to break through the 148, 149 mark. We broke through, almost came up here to 160, and then again, we've retraced back down. So let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour time frame here on GLD. And so here would be that same upward trend. So again, we bounced off of it once. I would not be surprised if we were to break down below 148, the high 148s, and come back down here, say even to the low 148s. Ideally, I would want to get in around 147.50, 147.50. And see if that holds. If not, if it were to break down, maybe have my stop in the mid 146s, as if this is a quick move up or down, that you won't get just taken out by the volatility in the market. So with that, you can move your stop a little bit lower, a little bit higher, depending on your risk tolerance. But to me, around the 147.50 mark would be pretty good if you wanted to try and catch it right off of this trend line. And then moving back up, again, the high 148s, and then right in here at our tops, this is going to be around 150, the high 149s, 150, and then from there, our table is up here, just similar to what we were seeing on the gold futures. I'm actually going to scoot it up a little bit. Would be right around the 153 mark. So, to me, I do think that gold is looking good. I think that the pullback was largely in part due to this move. You can see this thing really did start to accelerate based off of the bottoms that we are seeing here. It was about a 9% run, and like I've said before, when gold starts to move, I think that there's a lot of people that just kind of chunk their money into it, like anything that starts to move, and they cross their fingers and they hope and they pray that they're going to make a little bit of money, and sometimes it works, but then again, sometimes you're caught on the backside of it and you get stuck with it. So that makes it pretty hard, but nonetheless, I do like the way that gold is shaping up. I just want to see if it's going to hold this upward trend, and then some of these support levels. So right in here, around say 147. So hopefully you guys got something out of this video. Maybe it was a little bit useful to you guys, that you can implement some of this into your own trading. So thank you guys very much for watching.